I'm Natatlie Gold.
And I'm Hatanian.
Welcome back to another episode of How Hollywood Works. Today we will be interviewing Paul Kaufman, the producer and director of Butter, which will be releasing in theaters on February 25th.
Okay, to start off today's interview, can you please introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and your childhood?
Well, we will be here for about 6 hours if we start off with all of that information, but I will tell you some of it. My name is Paul Kaufman. I am a producer, writer, director. I just finished doing a film called Butter, which is going to be in the theaters on February 25th. My background is I grew up on the west side of Los Angeles, and I did not go to college. I became a production assistant to get into the film business, and it took many years to work my way up to being a producer, writer, and a director.
That's amazing.
And I've done 25 films, and I've directed NCIS and Criminal Minds and Grimm and lots of really cool shows. And I love my career. I love what I do.
That's so cool. At what point in your life did you realize you wanted to pursue film, specifically producing and directing? What got you interested in it?
Well, I started off as a production assistant. When I was young, if you got a job as a PA, it was the most exciting thing ever because they were really hard to get and they paid nothing, and you basically picked up food or picked up droppings after the producer's dog. And I became a PA, and I was just really excited that I got to work 18 hours a day and be completely abused on the set to get my foot into the door to get into the business. So that's kind of how I started off. And what was the rest of the question, Natalie?
It's what got you interested in film?
What got me interested is I've always been a storyteller, and when I was a kid, my father would always call me Walter Mitty because I would always make up all these incredible stories in my head. Yeah. And I think that's kind of really what got me interested in becoming a filmmaker and actually physically telling stories, through the medium of film.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah, so film really is an amazing medium, and so your new movie, Butter, is releasing Friday, February 25th. Mm-hmm. And what can you tell us about the movie, and why would teens be interested to watch this movie?
Well, I wanted to make a film that had a social impact. And, I've done a lot of TV movies, a lot of TV series, a lot of films, and I'm at a new chapter of my career where I wanted my films to have a social impact, a positive social impact. I found the book Butter, and I had never heard a story like that before. It was a story about a high school teenager who is morbidly obese. He weighs 423 pounds, and he's bullied, and he doesn't, he feels isolated, and he makes a decision that he is going to take his own life live on the internet on New Year's Eve. And when he shows up at school the next day, the kids embrace him and embrace that idea and say, that is really cool. And so he's getting mixed messages, and ultimately he becomes friends with these kids, and these kids really get to know him as a person. But as New Year's Eve grows closer, is he going to see through with his plan? The social impact has to do with school bullying. Teen mental health is a big part of this story. I feel that when I was a teenager, I felt disenfranchised. I felt that I didn't belong. I think even the kids that do belong socially, what belonging is, feel that they don't belong. And, want to help out kids that feel isolated. And, teen mental health is an important issue. Suicide prevention is a big issue. I think that this film will also teach you, besides being completely entertained because it's a comedy, it'll teach you to open up to your friends. We have a campaign called Are You Okay? And it's just friends, when they see that friends are sad or down, or even someone that you might not know at school, go up to them and ask them if they're okay, because first, talking about how you're feeling can really kind of be the beginning to getting help if you are actually in crisis and thinking about taking your own life.
That sounds like a great campaign.
Yeah, thank you.
I know you talked about how you were inspired by the book Butter to create this film. Are there any other films that inspired you or pushed you to make this?
Yeah. coming up with the tone of the movie was a challenge. I'm making a film about suicide prevention, anti-bullying, and teen mental health. And if I make a dark film or an art film, who's going to see it? Am I going to be able to get it into the theaters? Are people going, if it's...
Will it be a teen movie?
Will it be a teen movie? And so I decided, well, I'm going to make it a comedy. And that was inspired by a filmmaker named John Hughes, who made The Breakfast Club and who made 16 Candles, Pretty in Pink, Home Alone, a lot of great films, and basically those are all about kids being disenfranchised. If you watch The Breakfast Club, it's a funny movie, it's a great film, but all the teens are different in that movie, and you can relate to each one, whether you're the homely girl or you're the handsome jock or the outcast or the nerd or whatever it is. So I was really inspired by John Hughes to find the tone of this movie.
Cool.
Yeah. So that is really cool how you still wanted it to be a comedy, but like you mentioned, the movie Butter still deals with very deep issues such as mental and physical illnesses and suicide. So is that something that you're very passionate about? And can you tell us a little bit more about what got you into inspired about mental illness?
Well, I read the book when my two kids were teenagers in high school. So I had seen, sort of what that was like and the trials and tribulations and the difficulties that teens have. In regards to myself, when I was a teen, I had dealt with depression, I had dealt with not wanting to be here anymore, I had dealt with not feeling that I fit in really anywhere. I wish that I would have had people, or I wish that I would have known that it's okay. Back in my day, it was like mental illness, you just don't talk about it. Today it's being much more accepted. Yeah. When I speak to teens, what I tell them is it's not embarrassing. And there's nothing wrong with it. And just put it into the context that if you have a heart problem, you're going to go see a cardiologist who's a heart doctor. Mm-hmm. If you have a lung problem, you'll see a lung doctor. Yeah. And the brain is just another organ. And our organs misfunction, they malfunction, they need help. Mm-hmm. And you can get that help if you're feeling depressed. You can really come out of it and kind of learn how to deal with it. Mm-hmm. With your life, and so I feel that's just really important. Yeah,
I definitely agree, especially with mental illness, it's definitely talked about more, and I think teens will definitely be able to resonate with that.
Yeah.
What was, you think, the biggest obstacle you faced while you were filming this movie?
Well, filming this movie, the biggest obstacle I faced was we had no money to make it. We raised money through like-minded people. They were people who had children who were having difficulty in high school. We have some investors whose children took their own lives. We went out to the community, the film community, to help us. So Panavision gave us a $70,000 camera package for free.
Oh, wow.
And Photochem and Santa Clarita Studios. We got free studios and free. So they were all like-minded people. Mm-hmm. They could relate to it. So for $1.5 million, we shot a $6 million budget movie. But the obstacle was, how do you go and get a location? You got to go shoot it in a high school. How are you going to go get a high school?
Oh, wow, yeah.
So you got to go and convince a high school, this is what the movie is about, it's important. And ultimately we got amazing locations, actors, the cast, the crew. I want to give a big shout out to Julie Bram and Steve Bram, who really helped get the financing together for the film. Awesome. And, so although there were all these obstacles, the making of this movie was really, really pleasant. It was really nice. I've made 25 movies and I've never had such a good time making a film, because everyone wanted to be there for the same reason.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hearing about the filming process, we would like to hear more about it, and if there was any point of the filming process that is your favorite, or what was your favorite part of the filming process?
My favorite part of the filming process is always working with the actors. Mm-hmm. It's always working with people and talking through, the issues with the actors. How are we going to portray this? I always allow the actor to make a choice. Sometimes actors will come up to you and it drives me crazy, especially in auditions, and they go, "So what do you want me to do? How do you want me to play this?" Okay. Real trained actors don't ask that question, but many actors do ask that question. And the choice is not mine. The choice is yours as an actor, and you need to make those choices. And once you make those choices, I'll either love it or I'll want to make an adjustment. And then we'll discuss what that adjustment is. And depending on the person, you have to kind of get to know the actor, and you have to kind of get to know the person, because that's how you're going to talk to them. And is this someone that I have to be gentle with? Is this someone that I have to be really stern with? And you say, "No, I don't want you to do it that way," because they're going to respond better to that kind of a direction. Many actors who are really well trained, they love a verb. They give me a verb, and sometimes it's really, that adjustment is that easy. And when you work with actors, and when you work with really good actors, sometimes after you do take, I say cut, we'll go, "Let's do it again," and the actor just instantly goes, "I got it." You're symbiotic. You don't even have to say it, because you both knew that moment. And then you get it, and it's like magic. And it's just it's the relationship with the actors that I really love. And I have the same relationships with my director of photography and many people on my crew. Sometimes you just kind of know. Yeah. So that really thrills me.
Did COVID have any severe effects on where it was filmed, who was casted in the movie, and release dates, anything like that?
Yeah, COVID, we had finished the film, and our strategy was to go to film festivals. And we were going to go to the film festivals, and we were going to sell it to Netflix for a couple of $1 million. Everyone's going to get back their money. It was a way that films were getting made and getting financed. So we had finished the movie, and we had gotten into probably 10 or 15 really great film festivals. And the first one was CineQuest in San Jose, top 10 film festival. I'm going to show my film to an audience of 600 people. I'm going to go on a panel. I'm going to meet agents and distributors, and Netflix will be there and all this stuff. So COVID just starts, The film festival is either at the end of February or first week in March of 2020, and I fly into San Jose, and a lot of the press didn't show up. And then the night of the screening, our 600 people became 60. No one showed up because of COVID. Wow. And then the following day, the film festival got closed down. So my 4 screenings were done. And from that point on, all 15 film festivals that we were in either got shut down or they went online. So everything changed, and this lasted for 2 years. So Butter sat around for 2 years. I made the decision not to just, throw it on a streamer and say too bad. It just meant too much to me. And then a distributor, Blue Fox, came along, and we decided we're going to put it in some theaters, which was amazing. And we were going to put it in 10 to 20 theaters. And then Marcus Theater Chain and AMC saw it and said, no, we want it in Times Square in New York.
Oh, wow.
We wanted it at LA Live, AMC LA Live, downtown LA. We want it here. And so now we're in 308 theaters.
That's incredible.
Opening up on Friday. And, we'll see how it does. I did 2 test screenings with high schools, and many of the high school students felt that there were no movies for them in the movie theater, that everything is a superhero movie. And not that they don't love a good superhero movie, but when I was a child, we had The Breakfast Club, and we had Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and we had all these great teenage movies. And they really showed an appreciation for making a movie for high school kids, about high school kids. So I'm hoping the movie does well, because then more high school kids will get to go see more movies, because people will be making more movies.
Something that they can relate to.
Yeah, so they can relate to it.
Yeah. Are there any other projects that you are working on, or anything that you can tell us to continue with Butter, or any other films that you're working on?
Well, yeah, right now I'm focusing on Butter. you know, I'd love Butter to do well and have it become a Netflix series, and really kind of explore who Butter is and his parents and his friends and the world that he lives in, which would be amazing. And I have a script that I'm working on, which is a thriller, which you know, I'll get to it in a few months once I'm done with Butter.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. What advice do you have for any young aspiring filmmakers?
Young aspiring filmmakers, are my advice, is be a writer. You have to learn how to write screenplays. Yeah. I started writing very late in life. Butter is really my first feature film that I wrote. I've produced 25 and directed 25, but I've had other people write the scripts. But I felt as a filmmaker, if I was going to make an independent movie, I had to write the script.
Yeah.
So I wish I would have started writing screenplays much younger.
Okay.
You know, so write the screenplays, learn how to write the screenplays, learn the stories, and go, you know, right now you're a filmmaker. You got an iPhone? Go write a 10-page script, get your friends together, have them play characters, film it, light it. There's nothing stopping you from making short films, and if you love it, you'll make them. You know?
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
The sky's the limit.
Yeah.
It is. You can achieve anything.
I agree.
Is there
No doubt.
anything else you want to add about this upcoming film?
I think you guys have done an excellent job asking these questions,
so much.
Natatlie and Eden. And go see the movie, Butter, in theaters.
Yeah, we'll be watching it on Friday.
Yes, we
We all
will.
think you should watch it. It's an amazing film. Check out the trailer if you haven't already. And
You can go to butterthefilm.com. And butterthefilm.com will take you to the trailer. It'll take you to ticketing. It'll tell you where the theater is nearby you. It also has our outreach, Are You OK? Which has crisis hotlines, crisis information, lots of videos done by celebrities that can empathize with you and how you're feeling. And and also we're giving away laptops.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Great.
Yeah, you just post a picture on Instagram with a stick of butter or the poster, and we're doing laptop giveaway from that we got from Dell Computers.
Nice.
Yeah.
very nice. Okay, that's been How Hollywood Works. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.
See ya.
Bye. Thank you.